Hey guys, I'm Victoria and welcome back to Femhead. So earlier this month, I wrote a blog post about why it's important for females to learn about libido. And so today I wanted to come on here and sort of share some things that you can do to help rediscover your libido after coming off of hormonal birth control or just in general, because it's something that is important and I think needs to be talked about. And obviously I am not a doctor nor a sex psychologist or any of that. I am just here to point out a problem, to bring light to it, and also to kind of share some of the things that I have been doing in my own life. So haters back off. But I am here to share kind of from my experience and from women I've talked to. I think there's a definite correlation between hormonal birth control and female libido. And that's because hormones rule all. They rule everything in our body. They control everything. Hormones do so much more than we think they do or we give credit to them for. They're a touchy thing. Hormones are a touchy thing, and you think they would be more resilient since they control so much, but they are a very touchy thing, and we're messing with our hormones. We are changing the different levels. We are adding in synthetic hormones, and it is no wonder that we are having issues. Okay, so say you have this problem, like what to do next. And while I don't have a real answer for that, I kind of have a not three-step process, but kind of like a three-step process that I'm working my way through that I wanted to share with you. So the combination that I'm currently working with that I find is working very well is education, conversation, and self-discovery. So let's start with education. I think that is a great place to start. It's always where I start when I'm working through something in my own life. So this has kind of begun with, learning about the female libido, learning how it differs female to female, how my libido isn't the same as your libido, and also how synthetic hormones and hormones in general play a role in that. I always go to books first. I love reading books and I always find such great information in there. So I actually went to grab the books that I'm going to mention, and I don't have half of them because I like to lend out books. And so I have the cover for the first one because I've lent it to someone. So the first one, and the one that kind of started this most recent trend of me looking into stuff, is Pussy, a Reclamation by Regina Thomasschauer. This book was something else, and it took about 3 chapters for me to get into, but after that I was gobbling it up. The information, just kind of the insight and the perspective was so empowering. The other 3 are She Comes First, and I checked that one out from the library. I will insert a picture of it right here. I really enjoyed that one. I read it in a matter of days because I checked it out from the library and I was heading out of the country, and so I didn't want to take it with me. After that I read Come As You Are. Actually, I'm still reading this one. I'm working my way through this one as well. And then the final one is Extended Massive Orgasm, which is a terrifying title and even more terrifying cover. And I actually have it covered up because I took it to Bali with me. What we need in life is more frank, honest, open conversations about taboo topics. Female pleasure, orgasm, libido, all of that is super taboo. So it's taboo that I realized you don't really talk about it amongst your friends until someone brings it up. So obviously the easiest place to go is to a friend, one of your closest friends, suggest reading a book or just send them an article or something to start a conversation, and some great things will come out of that. I think once you bring up a taboo topic, people are very open and relieved to talk about it and to have someone to share about it with. And if you don't feel like you have a female in your life that you can go to, I invite you to start a conversation down below. I always find that this little community of ours is very friendly and accepting and nurturing and open. And so share your stories, your successes, the problems, and let's see if we can't have a conversation start down below. While there's a lot of good that can come from education and conversation, at a certain point, especially with this, you have to put it into practice. You have to put it into your own life, try it out. And I think people cringe away from this so much, and they think oh God, oh no, and they're overwhelmed and they're scared and they're ashamed, but we don't need to be. I don't think there is any need for that. It's a shame that female pleasure is so taboo and there's misinformation around it or a lack of information, and we don't feel comfortable talking about it because it can make a real difference in our lives, and it can be a very positive thing or a very, very negative thing. And one valuable resource that I want to share with you that I have recently found is OMG Yes. I heard about this a very, very long time ago, and then one of my friends had mentioned she had gotten it, and then I saw an ad for it where Emma Watson was talking about it, and I was like, if Emma's talking about it, like, I'll go for it. So I went and I checked it out, and I went ahead and I paid the $29 for the first season, and it has been worth every penny because it is this incredible space of gold on the internet. So OMG Yes is this website you go on, and I think there's 15 techniques that they go through, and there's real women on there, and they talk about kind of their experience, you know, and then they talk about the technique in detail, and they show it to you, and then you practice it on like this amazing piece of technology, and they do it in this completely non-pornographic way, which I think is incredible, because when I first heard about it, I think I shied away from it so long because I was like, I'm not into pornographic material. That's just not something that I enjoy. I really didn't want it to be a place where women's bodies were once again like objects, but they weren't. Like, these women had total control and power over their own bodies, and it was all in their terms. And the way they were having the conversation, the way they were discussing it, was in such a way that you would talk to a friend or your mother, an aunt, or like some female in your life that you really respected and were really close to. And it's this incredible space where it is fun and exciting and inviting, and there's no shame, there's no worry, there's no fear. It's just this wealth of knowledge and information, and this invitation to practice it in your own life, and I've just really enjoyed it. It's just an incredible place, and I think it's well worth the $29. And without too much effort, just by going through these steps, just by reading it and by talking about it and by practicing it, it is going to impact your life. It is going to impact your overall sex life and just your world in general. Learning about this sort of stuff has made me look at everything in a new perspective. It has been this kind of incredible journey that I'm on, and I'm still on, and I've still got a ways to go. I wanted to kind of share these first 3 steps that I am in right now with you guys, so you could implement them into your life if it's something that you're struggling with. It's something that needs to be talked about, so this is me opening the conversation and inviting you to share. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what has worked for you, what resources, anything in that arena. But don't forget to share down below, to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.